Should I constantly submit my sitemap to Google Search Console for every change? I just started running a directory site about a month ago. Almost every other day, I'm making changes to the site and adding, removing, or updating listings. This causes changes to the sitemap.xml file. Should I enter the sitemap.xml file URL into the Google Search Console after every change like this that changes a page or more? Or does Google pick up on this alone? That is a wonderful, wonderful question for a wonderful, wonderful man.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to. Google does a pretty good job at crawling your website on its own. I think if you constantly resubmit your sitemap, it's probably going to cause more problems than it's going to solve, I think.
There's a certain something to be said for patience. And so if it's going to be very tempting to not believe what you read online because there's so much that's not true. But on things like this, would you think it'd be correct to say you can trust things that logically make sense? If Google doesn't say, send us a list of all the pages on your site, if they say, send us a link to a dynamic page that automatically shows us all your pages, probably only need to give them that link once. It's the same idea as if you were like, should I re-add my business URL to my Google My Business profile every day, even though I already see it there, just to make sure Google knows that's my business?
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't know if there's any science behind it, but I think if anything, they'd probably penalize you because Google wants to work smarter, not harder. What that means is they don't want you wasting their resources or recrawling the same thing on demand. So if you let it work at its own speed, it's going to be much happier than you basically saying, hey, I made changes, please recrawl this immediately, and you're doing that every single day. The dude that kind of sits in the chair at Google who's in charge of hitting the button, he's probably going to get like upset with you and be like, yeah, we're not doing it today, and I'm gonna notch down your rank 3 points just because of that.
Yeah, don't be that person. I hope this isn't offensive, but if you're the type of person who is doing something pointless every day, sorry, I looked at you, Brock. That was
a weird thing to do.
If you're doing something that is completely useless all day,
okay, deep cut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stop doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's. I think we all do it to a point. We all do stuff that feels good, like busy work, right? Where we think, I feel good because I resubmitted that. I know that I'm up to date. All my new stuff's out there. But deep down, we are probably avoiding the work. And what's that cool quote about the success you're looking to find is in the work you're avoiding? Stop wasting time on stuff that you kind of already know the answer to. I'm betting this person already knows it's a waste, and go do something useful, like create a long answer in the Reddit forums. And more than likely, if it's really good, people will say, that's really great. Can I DM you? And you'll say, yeah, you can. And then maybe they'll hire you. That's going to be a better use of your time than annoying Google.
Yeah.
You don't want to piss off John Google.
Or go frolic in a field of daisies. Kiss a beautiful girl in the rain.
Seize the day. Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. Exactly. What is Google Search Console and sitemaps for some people in the room?
So Google Search Console is a free service set up by Google. You can Google it, and it will allow you to connect the Search Console to your website. It helps you show up better organically in Google, and they've actually made it a lot more user-friendly, so it will walk you through what to do to submit your site to Google. And a sitemap, most platforms like WordPress have a built-in sitemap. So I believe if you have a website and let's say it's averagejoedumpsterco.com.
Just a random URL.
Crazy poll.
Yeah. Your sitemap is going to be that averagejoedumpsterco.com /sitemap. Is it site-map?
You're putting me on the spot here.
It might be site-map or sitemap.xml, and it will pull up all the pages on the website. All WordPress sites are built the same way. They all have an automatic feed of all your pages. So you just take that URL, you paste it in Search Console, and Google says, thank you. Results will display here momentarily, and they crawl your site, and then they will keep checking that URL to see if you're blogging and adding more pages and all that wonderful stuff. So
the URL doesn't necessarily change.
Yeah, and if it's not working, and you can actually type it in and test it, and it'll show like a text version of your site in tags showing all the pages. So if you don't see anything, it's the wrong URL. And you can install a free SEO plugin like Yoast, and it will give you, it'll generate all the sitemap pages for you, and then you can submit those URLs. So pretty easy.
I do love it when people manually build out their sitemap and then they never update it, and then they don't realize that there's already an existing one out there.
I used to dominate alone just before sitemaps could be auto-generated, because I wrote my own scripts that would pull from the database every URL on the site, create an XML feed, and then I would submit it out to directories. That was back in the good old days, how you could submit pages before Google really was good. And overnight, I would have hundreds of thousands of pages indexed. We'd get tons of traffic. It was amazing being one of the few nerds alive that could do that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they made it easy for everybody, and
Yeah.
that competitive edge went away. But
There used to be a popular pizza chain. Well, I guess they're still around, but I found this is when I was like first kind of experimenting around with sitemaps and stuff. I found their sitemap, and listed in it was their promo code validation page. And this was the thing that their promo code script validated their input promo codes against to let them know if it was good or bad. And I totally found all their employee only ones that were all just straight up listed out there that anybody on the web could find if you had the public URL for it. And yeah,
oh, I
And
love
did you
that.
use them?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
What was the chain?
I will neither confirm
I'll
nor
cut it out. I'll cut it out.
Oh.
Really? And did you actually use it? What kind of discount did
That's
you get?
actually worth it too. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used a couple of them. I remember the guy was like, "Dude, where are you getting these promo codes from?" I'm like, "Don't worry
Really?
about it."